Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, class, today we are going to discuss another organelle and the last organelles of the cytoplasm, the proxisomes. Proxisomes gain very much importance due to their vast variety of functions. These proxisomes are present in the animal cells, particularly in liver and kidneys. They are single membrane bounded organelles. They are rich in different types of enzymes. There are about 50 enzymes are present in the peroxisomes. And the different peroxisomes require peroxines for the synthesis of proxisomes. So basically the structure of peroxisome is somewhat like the in the cytoplasm, where you can see the peroxisome are present as a small circular shaped organelles, and the the large quantities of nucleus. Mitochondria are also there, so peroxisome are distinct organelles which are present in the cell. So talking about the functions of the peroxisome, they are involved in the metabolism of many molecules. Like different metabolic pathways of different biomolecules are going to be taking place in the peroxisomes. These biomolecules includes fats, lipids, plasmalogens, cholesterols, etc. And the very much important function of peroxisome is the conjugation of bile acids, the metabolism of bile acids, hydrogen peroxides, D-amino acids. These are all the toxic compounds which are very toxic to the body. If they are not going to be metabolized or detoxified in the peroxisomes, they could cause damage. Like if hydrogen peroxide is not neutralized into water, it may lead to the damage of the cell membrane. So it has a very important role in the beta oxidation of long chain fatty acids. So talking about broad functions of the peroxisomes, it includes number 1, the metabolism of lipids, number 2, the other steroids, cholesterol, plasmalogens, and the third most important function is the metabolization or the conjugation of the bile acids, hydrogen peroxides, etc. So if these long chain fatty acids are not going to be metabolized and not going to be oxidized, they could lead to different types of disease. One of the diseases is Zellweger syndrome, in which different beta oxidation enzymes are missing, which leads to the abnormal missing or defected beta chain of the very long chain fatty acids, which leads to the Zellweger syndrome. So peroxisome was of very much important. Peroxisome is very important organelle in fact, but according to their functions, its structure is very small, but it has got a wide importance due to the different types of functions. Now talking about another very important organelle, which is the mitochondria. So mitochondria is basically the powerhouse of the cell. You studied in detail many times mitochondria, and this mitochondria, the structure, first of all, whenever we discuss some organelle, we start discussing its function. So in case of mitochondria has outer mitochondrial membrane and inner mitochondrial membrane, and inner mitochondrial membrane is space, crystal, as well as mitochondrial matrix. So this is the structure. The outermost covering of the mitochondria is the outer membrane, then the inner membrane, The space between the outer membrane and inner membrane is the inner membranous space. Then coming towards the folded structure, where all the different energy metabolisms are taking place, is the cristae, and then the inner side of the cristae, the space inside the cristae, is known as the matrix. So this is the overall structure and the overall function of different areas of the mitochondria are different. Like the matrix contains a lot of enzymes which are important for the metabolism of different biomolecules, and the other the inner space and the outer membrane have allowed different molecules to pass from them, and then the different energy metabolisms like the electron transport chain is going to be taking place in the mitochondria as well. So, and the cristae is there for the folding purposes, and if this folding is in relaxed mode, it means the space provided by the cristae allowed different energy pathways to take place. OMM is the outer mitochondrial membrane, and it is freely permeable to ions or small molecules. It could contain porins. It has different types of proteins which are responsible for the movement of ions and small molecules. IMM is specialized structure. IMM is specialized structure, and it having components of electron transport chain. So inner mitochondrial membrane is basically designed for the electron transport chain, for the production of energy. Different complexes of electron transport chain, which are protein complexes, complex 1, 2, 3 and 4, are arranged in the inner mitochondrial membrane, plus the different other components of electron transport chain like ubiquinone, cytochrome C, ATPase synthase, and other components of F0 and F1, which are the parts of complex 5, having cardiolipins or phospholipids also found in the bacterial membranes. These are all the specialized structures which are arranged in the inner mitochondrial membrane and allows the passage of different electrons, and ultimately leads to the production of ATP. That's why the production of ATP is going to be taking place in the mitochondria. Then comes the mitochondrial matrix. As I discussed earlier, mitochondrial matrix is somewhat specialized for the different metabolic pathways like Krebs cycle, pyruvate dehydrogenases are there, citrate synthase is there, isocitrate dehydrogenases, and dehydrogenases and fumarases are also present. So enzymes of beta oxidation of fatty acids like acyl coenzyme A dehydrogenase, anyl coenzyme A hydratase, thiolase, etc. These are all the enzymes which are present in the mitochondrial matrix. Enzyme for amino acid oxidation, glutamate dehydrogenases, then for urea cycle, carbamyl phosphate synthetase, arginases. But you have to remember the pathways name like Krebs cycle, beta oxidation, urea cycle, and then one or two enzymes of the specific pathway. Like in case of Krebs cycle, you must know the BDS complex, citrate synthase, fumarases, etc. And in case of enzymes for beta oxidation, you must know 2 to 3 enzymes, and in other pathways also. Major function is energy production and the protein synthesis sites own DNA. As other than the nucleus, mitochondria is the only organelle which has its own DNA. So this DNA could also replicate itself. That's why it's the self-replicating organelle. Now, if the mitochondria does not function properly, it may lead to different types of disease. Some of the diseases are mitochondrial DNA myopathies. First one is the labor hereditary optic neuropathy. It is due to the mitochondrial mutation, and as the name indicates, optic neuropathy. Optic means vision loss, and neuropathy means nerve damage, characterized by the vision loss in early adulthood. Micronic epilepsy or micronic epilepsy with ragged red fibers or MERV syndrome. It is also due to the mutation in the DNA, and the symptoms mostly are of muscular defects, and it may be due to the it may lead to the involuntary twitching of the muscles, and could also lead to hearing loss, lactic acidosis, poor night vision, short stature, and symptomatic जो ड्रग थेरेपी है वो इसकी ट्रीटमेंट होगी. थर्ड वन इज़ द लफ्ट्स डिजीज़. लफ्ट्स डिजीज़ में क्या होता है कि सारे के सारे जो माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल एंजाइम्स होते हैं वो डैमेज होते हैं, और इसकी वजह से आपके जो एनर्जी ट्रांसडक्शन पाथवेज हैं वो इम्पेयर हो जाते हैं. और ये भी ज़्यादातर क्या करती है, स्केलेटल मसल्स की डिफॉर्मिटीज़ हैं, माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल जो एबनॉर्मल माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया डेवलप होती है जिसकी वजह से एटीपी प्रोडक्शन नहीं होती, और अनकंट्रोल्ड मसल मेटाबॉलिज्म होती है, हीट इंटॉलरेंस एंड इंक्रीज पर्सपिरेशन आर सीन इन द लफ्ट्स डिजीज़. ट्रीटमेंट, नो परमानेंट ट्रीटमेंट because it's enzyme defect. Symptomatic treatment can be given. Protection from heat is advised. Role of disease in lethal infantile mitochondrial ophthalmoplegia or myopathy. In this disease, early childhood mitochondrial ophthalmoplegia और मस्कुलर मायोपैथीज़. हमारे पास क्या होता है कि ब्लाइंडनेस और जो मायोपैथीज़ हैं वो अर्ली चाइल्डहुड में देखने को मिलती है लेसन में ड्यू टू द माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल enzyme defects. And the last one is the mitochondrial encephalopathy, lactic acidosis and stroke. इसमें भी हमारे पास क्या होता है कि जो मस्कुलर डिफेक्ट्स हैं और इसमें ज़्यादा ब्रेन की इन्वॉल्वमेंट हो जाती है और लैक्टिक एसिडोसिस की सिम्टम्स भी देखने को मिलती है, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है स्ट्रोक के और जो डेथ के अर्ली एजेस में चांसेस होते हैं वो बढ़ जाते हैं और लीड करती हैं ये डिफरेंट माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल एंजाइम डिफेक्ट की वजह से, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि आपकी जो सिम्टोमेटिक रिलीफ है वही दिया जाता है पेशेंट को. तो ये हमारे पास टोटल 5 डिजीज़ हैं, जिसमें फर्स्ट वन इज़ माइक्रोनिक एपिलेप्सी, देन मर्व सिंड्रोम, देन लफ्ट्स सिंड्रोम, देन comes the lethal infantile mitochondrial ophthalmoplegia और मायोपैथी, जिसको लेज सिंड्रोम भी कहते हैं, और फिफ्थ वन इज़ द मेलास, जिसका एब्रीविएशन है माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इंसेफलोपैथी, लैक्टिक एसिडोसिस एंड स्ट्रोक. अब हमारे पास एक साइटोस्केलेटन भी होता है साइटोप्लाज्म में, जो कि हमारे पास डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोटीन से मिलकर बनता है. साइटोस्केलेटन इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ द सेल. सो इट हैज़ 3 मेन components: microfilaments, microtubules and intermediate filaments. Microfilaments जो होते हैं वो एक्टिन और मायोसिन से मिलकर बनते हैं, ये सेल मोटिलिटी में हेल्प करते हैं. जो माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल्स हैं ट्यूबुलिन से मिलकर बनते हैं, सेल शेप और मोटिलिटी को मेंटेन करते हैं. जो कि इंटरमीडिएट फिलामेंट्स हैं, ये मिड साइज स्ट्रक्चर प्रोटीन्स हैं दैट आर फॉर्म द साइटोस्केलेटन. It has a diameter of 10 nanometer, provide mechanical support to the plasma membrane, टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ देते हैं. इसकी एग्जांपल्स में हमारे पास केराटिन और लैमिनिन्स आ जाती है. और ये करते क्या हैं, सेल कोहेजन एंड प्रिवेंट द एक्यूट फ्रैक्चर ऑफ एपिथेलियल शीट अंडर द टेंशन. अब हमारे पास होता क्या है कि ये साइटोस्केलेटन जो होता है ये हमारे पास एक बैकबोन की तरह का होता है. बैकबोन के ऊपर हमारे पास बाकी सारे ऑर्गेनेल्स अटैच हुई भी होती हैं. तो हमारे पास ये जो बैकबोन है ये डिफरेंट कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं. माइक्रोफिलामेंट्स जो कि एक्टिन मायोसिन से मिलकर बनता है, माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल्स जो कि ट्यूबुलन से मिलकर बनता है, और इंटरमीडिएट फिलामेंट्स जो कि स्केलेटन और लेमिन से मिलकर बनते हैं। ये सारे सपोर्ट दे रहे हैं टू होल्ड डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनेल्स इन देयर प्लेस एंड प्रोवाइड डिफरेंट टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ, प्रोवाइड टर्जिडिटी, प्रोवाइड मेंटेन सेल शेप, मेंटेन सेल मोटिलिटी। तो इनकी वजह से ही सेल का जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो मेंटेन होता है। तो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट योर टुडेज लेक्चर। होपफुली वी विल